Hey y'all, welcome to Mama's Kitchen with Mary Beth. Today I'm going to be canning some Cranberry Apple Pear Relish. And the recipe is in this complete book of small batch preserving. I follow this young lady, her Becoming a Farm Girl is her YouTube channel. She's wonderful. I encourage y'all to check her out. She's young and she does a lot of the old kind of food preservation, which I love because, you know, that's my mama's generation and my grandmother's generation. And, you know, and these things are coming back. Ever since COVID, people have started looking back at the way that their forefathers preserved food, canned food, built their pantries up so that, you know, if we come into a time when we can't get to the store again, like during COVID, we'll have plenty of food in our pantries. So I decided to do this Cranberry Apple Pear Relish because Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And it's something different. It's not just your regular cranberry sauce. It is canned, so it's going to be shelf stable. And I noticed in this book, it says serving suggestion, oven baked carrots, and you're going to put carrots in a greased casserole. Then you're going to stir in some of this cranberry apple pear relish, dot with butter, and bake it in the oven. Don't you think that would be tasty? I mean, I can just imagine there's lots of ways to use this cranberry apple pear relish. So, with that said, let's get started. Okay, y'all, I have moved you to the stove. I'm going to show you what we're doing here. I'm hoping this camera is going to cooperate. Trying to lower it where you can see in the pot. So I have 3 cups of cranberries in my pot. I'm going to add to that 3 apples that have been peeled, diced, 2 pears that are peeled and diced. I'm sticking to my bowl. Did not have golden raisins, but I did have craisins. It's 1.5 cups of craisins. 2 cups of granulated sugar. 1 cup of orange juice, and that is from the grocery store. 2 tablespoons of orange rind. I actually only had 1 tablespoon of orange rind, so that's all that's going in here. And then this is 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. They're going to go in here. I'll probably have to get a spoon to get this orange rind out. And the rest of the nutmeg and cinnamon. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a boil. Over high heat, stirring frequently. Reduce heat and boil gently about 25 minutes. Then remove heat. And I don't have any orange liqueur. I thought I did have it. It does call for orange liqueur. Don't have it. So that is not going to go in here. But I do want to give this to some people that might have a problem if there was a liqueur in there. So this batch is not going to have the orange liqueur in it, but the next one probably will. So I'll bring you back when this comes to a boil. Okay, y'all, our cranberry apple pear relish is boiling. Let me see if I can let you see that. And if you can hear some of the popping sounds. It's the cranberries that are popping. And so this is the beginning of the process. This has to cook and kind of boil gently for 25 minutes. And so while this is in that process of cooking, I will turn off the camera and I'll bring you back when we're ready to can it up. Okay, y'all, I'm back and we are ready to can up this cranberry apple pear relish. Let me see if I can lower this camera so you can see what's going on here. Hopefully it will let me. Okay, so I have my half-pint jars, my funnel. The recipe says to ladle it into your jars, leaving 1/2 inch headspace. I'm going to ladle, I don't know if you can see this. I only need this jar on the other side, but I don't think you can see it over there. Let me pull my pot over here. Turn that fire off. I'm going to ladle this in here. I want a 1/2 inch headspace. And this particular funnel was, I got it from a canning site. And actually, this jar is really hot, y'all, because this relish was, was at a slow boil, but anyway. So this is what it's going to look like. Put that in there. Once you get it in, then you want to remove any air bubbles. And I have a little bit too much of the relish in there, so I'm going to get a spoon and remove it, part of it. And I'll show you where a 1/2 inch headspace is. The 1/2 inch headspace is this middle line, and so you want it to be even with that middle line. And so I have one jar ready, and once I finish that, I'm going to take vinegar. I kind of have my camera on the wrong side, I think. I have a cup of white vinegar and a paper towel. And I found that the paper towel actually does better for this than like cloths. And I've used several kinds of cloths. Prefer the paper towels. Just takes one to get it done. So I have wiped the rim with vinegar. I'm going to take my little magnet and get a lid. The lids, Mama taught me to put the lids in, put them in a pan on the stove and on a kind of a low heat, and then you will, it kind of softens that rubber seal. And so you just put the lid on, the ring on, and then you you untighten that ring a little bit because you don't want it real tight. It has to be fingertip tight, and if it's not fingertip tight, it's not going to do good. So I'm going to finish loading these jars, then I'll bring you back when I'm done. Okay, y'all, I've got all of my jars in the canner. I'm going to try to take this over here where you can see them. Hard for me to figure out this camera, but anyway, there's six jars in my canner. And they have to process for 10 minutes. And this is a water bath canning, and so it has to process 10 minutes, covered with 1 to 2 inches of water. This is a pressure canner, but I only use this small one for water bath canning because some of my little rubber thing is missing. So this one I use for water bath canning. I do have a pressure canner also. So this cranberry apple pear relish is going to process 10 minutes in this water bath canner, and then it will sit in the canner with the heat off and the lid off 5 minutes, and I'll take it off. Take the lid off, take the jars out. I'll take the jars out and set them on a towel, and I'll bring you back so you see what they look like when they're finished processing. Hey y'all, I'm back, and you can see that the jars are out, and I'm going to move the camera over so you can see them. it did actually make 6 half pints. So I can't wait to use it. I know it's gonna be good. Love y'all. Bye.